Most people don't fail because life is too hard. They fail because they stop when things feel impossible. You've probably done this too. You start something with energy, maybe a dream, maybe a goal. For a few days everything feels right. Then suddenly reality hits. Problems appear. People doubt you. Progress slows down. And your mind whispers one dangerous word: impossible. That word has quietly destroyed more dreams than failure ever could. My name is Wally, and today I will tell you a true inspirational story about a man who refused to believe in that word. Far away from the noise of cities, there was a peaceful and beautiful village. The air was clean, the people were simple, and life moved slowly. Green fields surrounded small houses, and a river flowed gently near the edge of the village. People woke up early, worked honestly, and slept with calm hearts. But this village had one big problem. Right in the center there stood a massive mountain. It was not just any mountain. It was tall, steep, and almost impossible to cross. On the other side of that mountain, there was another village. That village had a big market, better hospitals, and more opportunities. But reaching it was never easy. The people of the peaceful village had only two choices. They could take a very long road around the mountain, which took almost 2 full days of travel. Or they could go through a dense, dangerous jungle that was filled with wild animals, broken paths, and constant risk. Most people chose the long road. It was tiring, but safe. Some desperate ones chose the jungle, and sometimes never came back. Over time, people accepted this as their reality. This is how life is, they would say. This problem has no solution. Some things are just impossible. Among these people lived a man named Armin. Armin was not very rich. He was not highly educated. But he was known for one thing. He thought differently. Every time he had to travel to the other village, he would look at that mountain and feel something strange. While others saw a barrier, he saw a question. Why can't there be a road through this mountain? One day his life changed forever. His father fell seriously ill. The village had no proper medical help. The only chance to save him was to take him to the other village quickly. Armand didn't waste time. He chose the jungle path because it was faster. He carried his father on his back and started the journey. The path was rough. The forest was silent but dangerous. Every step was filled with fear. Hours passed. Armin was tired, but he kept moving. Then it happened. In the middle of the jungle, his father's condition got worse. Armin tried everything, but there was nothing he could do. Before they could reach help, his father died. That moment broke something inside him. Not just because he lost his father, but because he knew the truth. His father didn't die because of illness alone. He died because there was no easy path. That mountain had taken his father away. After that day, Armin changed. While others moved on, he couldn't forget. Every time he looked at the mountain, he didn't see stone anymore. He saw pain. He saw loss. He saw a problem that no one had the courage to solve. One morning he made a decision. He picked up a hammer and a chisel, and he walked toward the mountain. People saw him and laughed. "What are you doing?" they asked. "I am going to make a road," he replied calmly. They laughed even louder. "Are you crazy? This mountain is bigger than your dreams. You can't even break a rock properly, and you want to cut a mountain?" Armin didn't argue. He just turned toward the mountain and hit it for the first time. That sound echoed in the valley. It was not just a strike on stone. It was a challenge to the word impossible. The first few days were hard. His hands hurt. His body ached. Progress was almost invisible. But he didn't stop. Every morning he woke up, walked to the mountain, and started hitting it again. Slowly people stopped laughing and started mocking. Look at him. He has lost his mind. His father's death made him crazy. Children threw stones at him. Some people insulted him. Others just ignored him completely. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Still, Armin kept going. Sometimes he would bleed. Sometimes he would fall. Sometimes he would sit quietly staring at the mountain, wondering if he was really insane. But then he would remember his father, and he would stand up again. Years passed. Yes, years. Most people would have quit after a few days. Some strong ones might last a few months. But Armin continued for years. Slowly something started to change. The surface of the mountain began to show cracks. Small pieces of stone started falling. A narrow path began to appear. It was not easy to see, but it was there. Still, people didn't believe. Even if you do this for your whole life, nothing will happen, they said. You are wasting your time. But our man had stopped listening a long time ago. He was no longer working to prove others wrong. He was working because he had decided that this must be done. More years passed. His hair turned gray. His body became weaker. But his will became stronger. Now something interesting started happening. A few young boys began watching him closely. They didn't laugh. They didn't mock. They were curious. One day one of them asked, "Why are you doing this?" Armin replied, "So you don't have to suffer the way I did." That answer stayed with them. The next day one of the boys picked up a small tool and joined him. Then another. Then another. Slowly a few people from the village started helping. Not many, just a few. But it was enough. The work became faster. The path became wider. The mountain, which once looked untouchable, was now slowly breaking apart. Years later, something unbelievable happened. The path connected. A clear road was finally formed through the mountain. What once took 2 days, now took a few hours. What once required fear, now became safe. The village changed forever. Trade increased. People traveled easily. Lives improved. And the same people who once laughed at Armin now called him a hero. But Armin didn't celebrate much. He simply stood there, looking at the road, and took a deep breath. For him, this was never about proving something. It was about solving something. It was about refusing to accept a painful reality as permanent.